Middlesex beat Essex by 11 runs in their final Friends Provident T20 group match at Chelmsford, but they missed out on a quarter-final place because of an inferior run rate after other results failed to go their way. Essex won the toss and had immediate success with the ball as Middlesex lost Neil Dexter in the opening over, leg before to Tim Phillips, the latest spinner to have the first crack with the ball in his hands. So the early impetus was provided instead by Owe Shah, and in particular David Warner. After Shah had hit the first boundary of the day, Warner struck Maurice Chambers for 5 fours in successive deliveries. Chambers didn't like the treatment he got at all, and the young paceman and Warner were involved in a heated exchange, which led to umpire Martin Bodnam stepping in. Shah fell for 20 with the total at 47 in the final power play over. He sliced a shot off Chris Wright and was held at backward point by a seething Chambers. Warner looked as if he'd chosen this important match to finally make a really big score for his county as he struck Phillips for a 6. Chambers then returned to the attack and bowled Darren Milan off the bottom edge for 11 at 73 for 3 in the 9th over. Then Warner was stumped by James Foster to provide veteran Grant Flower with his solitary success. Warner went for 37, made off only 20 deliveries. At 77 for 4, Middlesex looked as if they'd lost their way, but Gareth Berg and Ben Scott combined to add 63 in 7 overs. Berg was magnificent, striking the ball cleanly and making the most of these short boundaries at Chelmsford. He really enjoyed the bowling of the 2 Essex left-arm spinners, Flower and Phillips, as shot after shot kept clearing the ropes. Then, when the medium pacers returned to the attack, Berg smashed them for more runs, including this flat-batted 6, one of 4 he struck in his thrilling innings. He'd hit 41 off 23 balls when he perished, unsurprisingly being caught in the deep with a score of 140 for 5 with 21 balls remaining. That gave Tyrone Henderson the licence to throw the bat. Middlesex didn't just need to win this game, but had to do so convincingly. But Henderson was then bowled by Wright after that one scoring stroke. It was left to Scott then, who batted superbly and making an undefeated 43 from 33 balls, with this being one of his 5 fours. Sean Udall fell in the penultimate over, bowled by Papara, but Middlesex had set a tough target after reaching 173 for 7 from their 20 overs. Essex was soon in trouble when they replied. Alistair Cook drove Pedro Collins to short mid-wicket in the 2nd over of the innings, while Papara put up a simple catch to short fine leg in Tim Murtaugh's opening over, leaving Essex on 29 for 2 at the end of 5 overs. Matthew Walker had to try to get the innings moving and managed to do so by hitting Henderson for the first 6 of the reply. He and the former captain Mark Pettini took the score to 55 with a stand of 33 in 29 balls, not quite the rate that was required against some tight bowling and disciplined fielding. Pettini was then bowled by Henderson for 21, and at the halfway stage, Essex had only 59 runs on the board. But they've made a habit of winning matches from nowhere this summer, and Walker hadn't given up just yet. Scott Styris, playing his final game for the county, has been the biggest star of Essex's campaign, which has seen them finish 2nd in the group, and he was soon hitting maximums yet again. Crucially, Scott superbly stumped Walker off a leg side wide for 28 to keep his side ahead of the game, with Essex now on 96 for 4, 78 were needed off 34 balls. Flower soon followed as he chipped Berg to Shah in the deep after adding 8 in 5 deliveries. Foster knew that he had to go for everything now to bring his side close to their target. He knew that a victory would confirm a home tie in the quarters for them, so there was still much to play for as he dispatched full tosses from Berg and Henderson into the crowd. His odd stance was working well for him. He and Styris added 58 in just under 5 overs, but they were never able to get into a position to threaten Middlesex's superiority in spite of some clean hitting. Styris finally fell to the last delivery of the innings for 42, an effort spanning 30 deliveries and including 2 4s and 2 6s, while Foster finished unbeaten with 35 from 17. Essex made 162 for 6 to lose by 11 runs. So Middlesex had done what they needed to do, but wins for both Hampshire and Surrey meant that they could not overhaul either in their group and failed to make it through to the last 8 purely because of their net run rate, which was bettered by both of those counties.